Social Security provides critical benefits to millions of seniors with disabilities and their families, individuals as well. For many Americans, it is the cornerstone of retirement security. It also provides vital support to workers who can no longer earn a living due to severe injury or illness and to families who have lost a loved one. For decades, the Social Security Board of Trustees has recommended that Congress act quickly to address the program's long-term financial challenges. According to the trustees' latest projections, the Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund will be exhausted in late 2032. If Congress fails to act before then, incoming program revenues will be sufficient to pay only 78% of the promised benefits. Congress has a responsibility to protect and strengthen Social Security for current beneficiaries and future generations. The longer we wait, the more difficult this challenge will become. The last comprehensive effort to improve Social Security solvency took place over 40 years ago and culminated in the Social Security amendments of 1983. Those reforms were preceded by high-level bipartisan negotiations, informed and facilitated by the work of the National Commission on Social Security Reform, what was known as the Greenspan Commission. That process demonstrated the value of creating a forum where policymakers could work through difficult issues and build consensus on a bipartisan basis. More than 2 decades later, I participated in another bipartisan effort to develop recommendations to address our nation's long-term fiscal challenges, along with Senator Dick Durbin, the Democratic co-author of one of the process bills that will be discussed today. As a part of its work, the National Commission on Fiscal Responsibility and Reform, often referred to as the Bowles-Simpson Commission, developed a bipartisan Social Security solvency plan. While the Commission's recommendations ultimately did not receive support necessary to move forward, its work has informed subsequent Social Security solvency discussions. As Social Security approaches a pivotal moment, members of Congress have proposed a variety of process reforms designed to facilitate bipartisan discussions and help develop lasting solutions. And that's part of the reason we are here today. Today's hearing will examine those approaches and consider what lessons can be drawn from past efforts. Before I turn to Ranking Member Wyden, I'm going to briefly lay out how the rest of the hearing will proceed. After Ranking Member Wyden gives his opening remarks, generally we go immediately to the witnesses, but today we're going to let other members of the committee, if they choose, to have a 5-minute opening statement. Some of these members will, I'm sure, use this 5 minutes to talk about their ideas.
It's 3 months faster.
Once members conclude these opening statements, we will turn to our witnesses for their opening remarks and then proceed to member questions. I want to thank our witnesses for being here today, and I look forward to your testimony. And now I turn to Ranking Member Wyden for his opening remarks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And I share your view that we've got an excellent panel of witnesses and a good start to this issue. We're going to be discussing the future of Social Security, as sacred an issue as there is in America. The trust fund is going to be depleted before the end of the next presidential administration. Several Republican members of the panel will say that they have a solution, some sort of unaccountable commission that rubber stamps benefit cuts like increasing the retirement age. It seems that every time some Republicans get their hands on these sort of ideas for Social Security, life gets worse for older people that count on the program to get by. Now, thanks to Donald Trump and the big, beautiful bill, the crisis is speeding up. Senators elected this fall will be in office when Social Security becomes insolvent, and Republicans started this fire, and now they're claiming they're the ones that can put it out. The consequences of insolvency are severe. Americans who paid into Social Security out of every paycheck during their working years would no longer receive full benefits. 1 in 4 seniors rely on their earned Social Security benefits for virtually all of their income. That number is even higher for people receiving disability benefits or kids who lost a parent. Trump and the MAGA crowd give huge tax breaks to billionaires and massive corporations. That's what they did last year. And that bill plundered Social Security by $168 billion. You don't have to take my word for it. The number comes from the Social Security Actuary Office itself. So here's my bottom line. I want to work on a bipartisan basis to fix the problem and protect typical retirees from missing out on their earned benefits in a little more than 6 years. That can be done by updating Social Security to reflect the economy of today and ask billionaires to pay their fair share through the payroll and income taxes. That's it. So I wish that the Finance Committee was here to make sure that we have a substantive debate. Instead, the concept being discussed today would act as a shortcut for Republicans to carry out their long-sought goal of slashing Social Security benefit for retirees and raising taxes on middle-class folks. In my view, supporting this kind of flawed idea would be a dereliction of duty, something that I would never be part of. This is the work we were sent to Congress to undertake. Quaint idea. We do the work that we're sent to Congress to do. Handing off that responsibility to somebody else, to me, is just buck passing. So in the words of basketball great Allen Iverson, and I quote, "We're talking about practice, not a game. We're talking about practice." Instead of talking about talking, this body should get to work on finding a solution to the Social Security solvency challenge and having that debate in public view. Democrats on this committee have put forward their ideas. Through our plan, Social Security can be secured indefinitely into the future without a single dime of cuts to a current or future retiree. That means no raising the retirement age, no cost of living haircuts, and no means testing benefits. But it does require the billionaires who've seen their wealth skyrocket to over $9 trillion this year while working people suffer. Those billionaires would pay their fair share. Instead of having a public debate, the commission that's being discussed would smuggle in benefit cut plans with minimal public scrutiny or debate. I reject that approach. I'm going to oppose efforts to set up a plan like that. I've got faith that every member of this committee has the wherewithal to engage in an important debate here and now. Not a commission, but a debate here and now. But it requires the courage to stand behind your ideas in full public view, and the American people deserve no less. So I thank our witnesses for joining the committee. I look forward to the discussion. Mr. Chairman, as we discussed, I would ask unanimous consent to enter into the record a statement from Senator Gillibrand, and I would also ask unanimous consent to enter into the record a statement from the Alliance for Retired Americans, and that's a request for both documents.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And before I go to members, I just have to correct something, Senator Wyden. This hearing is not to push a specific proposal. This hearing is to talk about all the options on the table. That's why we have a broad array of witnesses and why I've offered every member of this committee the opportunity to say something about their ideas if they want to. Then we can move forward and hopefully, on a bipartisan basis, build a solution.
Mr. Chairman, I won't continue this at length. What I've indicated is that I'm very much interested in exactly the kind of bipartisan efforts. People who've worked on this committee know that I pursue this. I don't think buck passing, though, is serious bipartisan effort. I think it's ducking, and that's what the debate today also includes.